So, hello and good morning, everyone. I am again presenting a new thinker in the series, that is fifth one, A.R. Cliff Brown. Myself, Mrs. Kalpana Singh, and I am a senior research fellow in Department of Sociology, working under the supervision of Professor Dr. Rajiv Kumar in DBS PG College, Kanpur. Okay, let's start. This is the picture of Radcliffe Brown, and these are few of the very notable works done by him. The Social Organization of Australian Tribes, 1931. The Andaman Islanders, 1922. The Development of Social Anthropology, 1936. African System of Kinship and Marriage, 1950. Structure and Function in Primitive Society, 1952. A Natural Science of Society, 1957. There are a lot more work done by him. For that, you need to go and read this particular thinker in a book, and then keep adding on in your notes. Okay. Now let's start from the structural features of social life. Let's read the statement first. The concept of structure refers to an arrangement of parts or components relates to one another in some sort of larger unity. Okay, just a minute. Okay, you see, arrangement of parts. This is a very important keyword in this entire definition. Components relate to one another in some sort of larger unity. Okay, this is the part or components, and this is the larger unity. So for Radcliffe Brown, he has a very significant difference from Malinowski, that Malinowski emphasized the needs of individual more over the society, whereas Radcliffe Brown emphasized over the needs and existence of society, and for him, individuals were irrelevant because they were replaceable by the death of old members of society and the birth of new members of society. Through the process of socialization, they became a complete member of society. So these members come and go, but the entire structure remains the same. So for him, social system or structure was given more importance over individual. Now, what are the structural features? First is existence of a social group. Okay, like family. Then there is a kinship. Okay, similarly, other kind of example. What are the internal structure of the group? What is in the there is in the family? There is father, there is mother, there is brother, sister, the basic nuclear family. Okay, you can extend this example to extended family, joint family, but these are the internal structure, means there are some social position inside the family itself. Then there is an arrangement into social classes. When we talk about the arrangement, there is a hierarchy. Okay, there is Brahmin, there is Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudra, and there is a fifth category of untouchables. This is a very peculiar feature of Indian society, that is caste system. Okay, whereas in Western society, you see there is upper class, there is middle class, and there is lower class. So they are all based on economic. So these are economic classes. So arrangement of social classes, okay, in order. Right, this is the topmost, and this is the second rank, this is the third rank, and fourth and fifth. So similarly, this first, second, third arrangement. Now, next is social distinction. There is a basic difference between the individual based on certain things, like caste, your color, your sex, right? Similarly, so this color, particularly color, is not very significant basis of distinction in Indian society, but it has a very long history in Western society in terms of racism. And you might have heard the name of Nelson Mandela, who fought for the abolition of this racism in South Africa. So this is very contradiction between the black and white, the different segregation on public properties, and access to the good resources. So these are some number of things where distinction play a very significant role to make you either available for the resources or not available for the resources. Now next is the dyadic relation among the person. Okay, and this is the dyadic relation. There is particular uh, opposites. There is a father, then there must be a mother. There is a brother, then there must be a sister. There is a doctor, then there must be a patient. Okay, this kind of binary opposite. This is more being explained in very detail by Cloud Lady Strauss that we will be covering in our next video. Okay, and then there is an interaction between the groups or persons. In MacIver and Page definition of society, it is a web of social relationships, right? So this is one person, the second, third, fourth. They are having interactions. Okay, so and they are doing all under one system. So these are clearly visible and observable. That is a structural features which is very clear, observable. Okay, so this was the structural features. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, now this is structure functionalism. Now what is structure functionalism? First thing, this is a necessary condition for existence. Next, there is an organic analogy influenced by Emile Durkheim. Now, what do you mean by organic analogy? It means this is the body part of a person, right? There is a heart, lungs, kidneys, pancreas, okay? Mhm. And similarly other kind of organs of a body, and they are performing their individual functions to the smooth functioning of this entire body. Okay, similarly in society there are different elements like family, kinship, economy, polity, religion, right, and they are all performing to maintain this functioning of entire social system. Okay. Necessary condition for the existence of human, discovered by proper scientific theory. Now, according to Radcliffe Brown, types of social structure works flux and fixed. Flux means fluid, right? That is fluid. So this is fluid. Okay. Now, something like this, it keeps on moving, it keeps on changing. So, flux is means fluid, whereas fixed there is a concrete structure. So, according to him, the social system is concrete in its nature. It has a underlying similar structure continued over a very long period of time, whereas flux is said that the members of this entire system that keeps on changing will come and go, but the underlying structure remains the same. The underlying theories, the underlying systems, functionings, interact, process of interaction, relations, positions, roles, these all remain the same, but their the members holding those positions, performing those positions, working under those structure are not fixed. They are flux. So they keep on moving. So that is the basic difference between flux and fixed. Okay. So structure and function necessary for support and continuity. Structure and function necessary for support and continuity. In this figure I included, you see this line. Okay. This is the line. This again there is a line like this. So this picture is quite big. I just cropped it and taken it from online. You see, it is something like machine. Okay, so human is just a part of it. He is not the entire machine. He is just a part of it, and he is working in coordination with other parts of the system. Right? So he is just a part of this. So for Radcliffe Brown, this entire system is very important. This social structure is very important, and this individual is just playing the part out of many other parts of the social system. Okay, now I think it is clear to you. Now let's move to the next slide. Now structure and function. So, now let's read the definition first. Some of the features of social structure such as geographical distribution of individuals and groups can be directly observed, but most of the social relations, which in their totally constitute the structure, such as relations of father and son, buyer and seller, ruler and subject, cannot be observed except in social activities in which relations are functioning. Okay, so this social morphology and social physiology. Both are interdependent. You see, this is a puzzle game. So I included this just to make you understand. You see, in the game also, there these parts are scattered, and they can only function if you put. Just a minute, I should change the color of the pen. Okay, if you put part in the right place. Okay, these are the right place, and they are working in coordination with each other. So you will be able to solve this puzzle when you will only put these pieces into the correct places, right? So this coordination is very important. So see, which features are observed directly? Their geographical locations, okay, geographical distribution of individual, your country, your place, your village, your caste, okay, your gender. These are things clearly visible, but things which are more important than these things are the relations an individual, just a minute, the relation and in uh, the relations this one individual is performing with other individual. This is invisible thing, and it can only be observed by the activities they perform, right? Right? We say there is an institution of marriage. Then how will we able to know where the marriage is taking place? When you see the rituals at a particular place, there are a male and a girl and a boy, and there are some rituals that is very different in different religion, but there are some rules, right? So they are performing those rituals, and people around them are enjoying that particular ceremony function. Then by observing all those activities, you will have a clear understanding on the institution of marriage. Okay, what is the relation between husband and wife? What are the expectations? What role assigned to them by the society? So these are cannot be cannot be observed except in the social activities in which the relations are functioning. So rule, okay. So this is very important that they cannot be observed directly by the word, but when you just observe very systematically the activities happening around, then you will have clear understanding of what is the relation between these two people, right? And both are interdependent. Social morphology and social physiology. Both are independent. They are not independent, interdependent. Okay, they are dependent upon each other, right? Okay, now let's move to the next slide. Okay, functional unity. Okay, now let's read. This is a picture of tribal that I have taken from the internet and put this into the slide. Functional unity, similar view as Durkheim, yet he talked about certain dysfunctions of society. Okay. Now, this is taken further. The dysfunction, the functionalist people who talk about the function of the element towards the maintenance of entire society. In later on reading, they found that there are not all elements are functional. So they found there are some dysfunctions also. But this particular thing, dysfunction is taken further and in detail work by Robert K. Merton that we'll be covering in our next video. Okay. Social health was important center of focus for Durkheim and expressed in the term of anomy. You have already seen this in the video of Ibn Durkheim. What is anomy? That is a normlessness. Okay, there is in uh, there are some norms and there are individuals. Okay, these are the norms of the society, and this is the process. So when individual found not performing, this is the ideal path, okay, norms of the society. So when individual found not performing, this is x and y, and this is the norms, right? Individual going away from the norms, then it is called normlessness, okay? Not exactly revolution, but away from this particular line to certain distance, then it is a normlessness. A.R. Radcliffe Brown adopts the term eunomia and dysnomia. Dysnomia means dysfunctional. Eunomia means functional. That is the only thing. Elements which are dysfunctional for the maintenance of entire society, and eunomia elements having the function for the maintenance of entire society. Two methods to study culture. First one is the historical method with limitation, which means in in historical method, you have a complete dependency over the evidences, archaeological facts, the archaeological evidences. You cannot create that scene and just go for an empirical research and figure it out whether it was a true or false. Okay, so your complete dependency over the past is a limitation of historical method. Then the functional method, okay, means which part is performing what function in the maintenance society. So you see there are three terms I have included. This one is ethnomethodology, that is given by Harold Garfinkel, and that is a science of day-to-day life. Day-to-day life experiences are analyzed systematically and they come up with the general laws. Then ethnography, described by Malinowski, I already explained this in the video of Malinowski, that it is a complete study of a small group. Okay, so that is ethnography. Now, ethnology, it is a comparative study of two groups simultaneously, right? And then you come up with the differences and similarity between it. So this is ethnology, and it is explained by Ratcliffe Brown. Okay, Ratcliffe Brown has done two studies at the Andaman Island. He visited the Andaman Islands and studied there, and the Western Australian tribe, the African tribes of Chokta and Oma. Okay, so that was the facts. Now see, every custom and belief plays some determinate part in social life of the community, just as every organ of the living body. Every custom and belief plays some determinate part in the social life community, just as every organ of a living body plays some part in general life of the organism. So see, India is such a diverse country with numerous religions, and in ethnicity we find various ethnicities, localities, local cultures. Okay, and they have a different way of doing certain things. So every custom and belief plays some determinate part in their life, and it is functional for their society, for a small society. Okay, so for here, examples are given like ceremonial weeping in the Andaman Island. Means here what happened that people gather after a long period of time and they start crying. They enjoy that moment, but there are tears in the eyes, and they try to reunite on that particular moment. In in society also, you see that when you attend a funeral of a person, then you don't start laughing there. Okay, because there you find that the norm is of weeping, not of laughing. So you pretend your face pretend, though you don't know the person you attended the funeral, but you pretend that you are very sad about this particular incident. So norms decide the way you behave in a particular social context, right? Then there is a totemism in Australian field studies. So the question of concern for Ashley Brown, that why harmless animals and this plant only chosen as a totem? Why? So he studied these tribes in South Wales. There he found that there is two moieties and they were named after two birds, eagle, hawk, and one more is there. I just can't recall it at this time. Just a minute. There is yes, other one is crow. So there is eagle, hawk, and there is a crow. So there is a similarity, and at the same time there are difference between two kinds of birds. Similarities are there that both are meat-eating birds, and differences is there in which they have been uh, somehow stigmatized, I say, or labeled as a more suitable word would be labeled as a opponents of each other in conflict. They will be having the conflict of interest. Okay, so there is a relationship of alliance and competition, paired and opposed at the same time, and there is an exogamous group. Okay, so he found this kind of thing exists in tribes in South Wales. Then he has given some usages, some rules that is being followed in kinship. Like here I have written this too. There are some other one also. First is this evinculate. Okay, in this mother's brother, right? That is mama. Mama plays, that is maternal uncle, plays a very significant role in the life of an individual. And we see this avuncular relationship in matriarchal society exists in northeast region like Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. These are matriarchal tribes. In south, in Kerala also, we have found this patriarchal tribes where the role of mama becomes very important. And in most of the north side in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, we see this imitate where father's sister, okay, that is bua, plays a significant role. Okay, so that is imitate. And there is another, so in this imitate, the father's sister, that is bua of an individual, plays a very significant role. Okay, and there is, just a minute, there is another, okay, there is another which is also called joking relationships. Okay, it means that you can have fun jokes moment within some relationships, right? For example, like Jija Sali. Okay, you have heard so many jokes about this particular relationship. Okay, and the function of this joking relationship was to soothe the new bride in a new environment, in new family, and she can express herself. This joking relationships act as a safety valve for this new entry to the new family of a bride. So these were the few of the custom and system that is very functional and determinate for a particular society. Okay, let's move to the next. Okay, this is a map location. I just thought that when we are reading that where exactly these thinkers have uh, resided and studied a particular site. So this is the Andaman Island. Okay, there the study of Andaman Islander, and this is the South Wales. Okay, so I prefer that when while you are reading this sociology also, and you come across several states, countries, regions, then you should go and check this out in map also where it is exactly located, right? Okay, so this was all about this Redcliffe Brown's major theories. Okay, here I would like to say that in a functional unity, how functional unity works in a new situation, then there is an adaptation, there is an co-adaptation, there is an integration, right? And through these processes, um, just a minute, through these processes, things work. Okay, just a minute. There are several other things. There are other kind of relationship also. Just a minute, I should change the color of the pen. Why it is not showing? I don't know. Mm, okay. So there are other relationship also. Like we have already discussed the joking relationship. Then there are also something called co-ed, right? In which a husband imitates his for a pregnant wife and follows all the restrictions and kind of food, the kind of work she performs all over the 9 months, and he also performs. And and by doing this, there is a strong development of bond between husband and wife. Then there is a relationship called avoidance, right? I am writing it with mouse, so that's why it is taking time also, and the handwriting is worst. So there is an avoid. I will be using pen in later videos. So avoidance, okay, it means when in between two relationship, it is expected from one part to avoid coming in front of the other part, and we see a great example of it like parda system, okay, in which the woman is not is expected to cover her face in front of especially her father-in-law, right? So this is the relationship of avoidance. Then there is an just a minute. Then there is an other relationship of technonomy, right? And what is this technonomy? I hope that you have heard this word several times. Your mother calling your father not by his name. Today we must have seen so many words like babu, babu, and baby, and so many things. I generally call his husband. Sometimes I also call him by his name, but in our traditional culture it was not allowed. So how a woman called his husband? So she used to take a middle name. Okay, what is the middle name? There is a wife, there is a husband, and there is a children. So wife used to address his husband with the name of his children, like Monu ke papa, Sonu ke papa, right? So likewise. So this was the technonymy. She was not allowed to take the name directly, right? These are some of the other relationships, kinship usages, right? Just a minute. And then there is in joking relationship also, in joking relationship also, there is an uh, asymmetrical and symmetrical. In asymmetrical, one party take no offense by constantly mocked by the other party. Okay, and in symmetrical system, the two party mock each other, make fun of each other, and nobody feels offensive about it. Okay, so these were the two, asymmetric and symmetric. Now, just a minute. Okay. Hmm. So this was all about Rectal Brown. I hope you understand to Rectal Brown, and it was a brief introduction about it. It is not a complete video about Rectal Brown. It's just a brief introduction. So you must read the chapter of Thinker in a book first, and then come to this video. Then again go back to the chapter, read it again, and try to add it on in this notes. Right? Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye, and we will meet again in our next thinker video. Okay, thank you.